Oh, yeah. Nanu, 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 nanu. What is going on? We are back. That's right. It's your boy Preston. That's right. Phat Samurai Guy. Back again with filmmaker, director of the film Bone Cold, Billy Handsome. Welcome back, brother.
Thank you very much. I feel locked and loaded and ready to hump a fridge.
Yes, so we're going to be talking more about humping the fridge instead of jumping the shark or nuking the fridge. We're going to be talking about humping the fridge a little bit later, but it is good to have you back, brother. And what is going on? All my movie loving badasses out there hanging out with us today for another episode of Yin-Yang Reviews. That's right. Our new series we've started and been having a blast with so far. And this is episode 4, I believe.
Wow.
I know, right? Episode 4. Hopefully we will have more to come.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on Billy's schedule.
Yeah, so I'm going to clear my schedule. Any project. The strike is now officially over, the Writers Guild strike. So any projects, I'm like, you know what, guys, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. I have some other stuff to do.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Spielberg, you're going to have to wait. John Carpenter, I'm sorry. All right. Phat Samurai Guy needs me. But yeah, man, it's always great. Love talking movies with you, brother. And
yeah, same here, man.
It's always cool and fun to have you here. And all you badasses watching, thanks again for hanging out with us knuckleheads. And we're going to have some fun talking about the good and bad and the ugly of 2 films today. Yes, American Renegades and Wet Hot American Summer. Yes. And as is tradition, Billy will connect the two. He will find a connection at the end, just for fun. One of them's obvious, but we'll wait till the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
I may need our conversation to really find a connection because I've been thinking about it.
If you can't find one, it's all right. We'll go with plan A because it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious. But yeah, if you guys are new here, thanks again for hanging out. And if you're new to this new series, Yin-Yang Reviews, the whole purpose of this is just for us to get together, an excuse to talk about movies. But the whole purpose is for Yin-Yang is to talk about 2 films that are complete opposite of each other and just have some fun hanging out, talking movies. And don't forget, little quick segue, the Urban Action Showcase and Expo. That's right. It is streaming. It's going down on the bottom banner there. That's right. Check out the link or click on the link in the description box below to check out the website. A lot of cool, awesome actors, filmmakers, martial artists are going to be showing up this year. So if you're interested, check it out, buy some merch, all that good stuff. All right. So we had a blast last week, or the week before. We talked about, I chose a horror film called The Dare, a.k.a. Fear the Flannel.
Yes.
And you chose...
What did I choose last week? Oh, Take Shelter. Shelter.
Take Shelter, yes.
Yeah.
So you guys don't want to miss that episode. Actually, any episode we've done so far, you guys don't want to miss it because it's hilarious.
I feel like we haven't had any duds yet. I don't even think we've had any dips in conversation at this point across 3 episodes.
Even Cherry 2000, even though I apologize that I chose that one, still it was fun talking about it. And I did at least bring up the positives that I thought that movie had, even though it was bad. But we haven't got to the I hate this yet.
Yeah, we haven't had any of those yet.
Fuck this movie, or that was extremely disappointing, and whatever. But I'm sure we'll eventually come across it because some of these we're recommending that we've seen, and some of these we were recommending because we have not seen and we're just curious.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kick off the first one here, and I'm sure you. Why do you think I picked this one? I mean, it's obvious, but because you know me. But were you curious, like, why that one? Have you heard of this movie? Have you heard of American Renegades?
No, and I was surprised that I hadn't after I saw it and I saw who was involved in it.
Right. So this is why I brought it up and chose this one, because it was one I've been meaning to get to for a long time. But I was always curious about it because, Billy, this is what's really weird, dude. If you look at this is so strange, and all of you guys watching right now, if you know the reason why, please let us know in chat right now, or if you guys are watching this not live, let us know in the comments if you guys have found any reasons, like what happened to this movie. Because, bro, I was in the movie theater in 2017. That's several years ago.
Yeah.
From today, this year. I was in the theater and I saw a trailer for this movie. And it was all action. You know, they showed the tank stuff, which we'll talk about in a second. We'll get to the tank battle stuff. And it was all serious. And then I never seen it again.
Interesting.
Again. And then another year went by. And then another year went by. And then I completely forgot about it until I was browsing on Amazon Prime. And I was like, wait a minute. Is that movie I saw a trailer to? Because I remember J.K. Simmons being in it.
Yeah.
Right, and another actor, which we'll get to, because I like that actor in a certain series, which I'll talk about. But I was like, oh, wait a minute, holy shit, I remember that movie, like that trailer, like look, 5-6 years later, you know, and I was just like, wait a minute, and then I watched the trailer again, and the trailer's completely different, totally different tone, and I was like, this is a heist movie. Like, dude, it was crazy. I was like, what happened? Wait, is this the same movie or not? Because the first trailer I saw was dead military action serious movie.
Yeah.
And then the new trailer is action heist shenanigans.
Yeah.
And I was so lost, man.
Some quirky music and
I was like, is this what is happening? So if you guys know if this movie ended up in developmental hell or whatever, or there was issues in the production, if you guys know anything, because it's strange. I saw a trailer in 2017 in the theater, and then all of a sudden, several years later, it's on Prime, and I'm like, what happened to this movie? So that was why I chose it, because I've always been curious, like, what happened?
Yeah, that is interesting. That's really interesting, because I had never heard of it. Yeah. And you brought up, and then I Googled it, and I was like, oh, this looks like, okay, like some, straight to streaming military, whatever. But then I saw the credits, and I was like, Luc Besson wrote this, and Richard Wenk is another guy who, like, it's another big screenwriter. And the cast is not nothing. J.K. Simmons is great, and like the lead guy.
Yes, he was another reason I wanted to watch the film. When it Sullivan Stapleton,
right? Yeah, I had seen him. I remember him being in it, and like in 2017, it makes a lot more sense that he'd be leading that movie.
Yeah,
but now 6 years on, like, it's a weird choice.
He has a very interesting career. I mean, those of you who have watched a lot of movies like us, you'll see Sullivan pop up. Like, you'll see him pop up. Like, he was in the 300 sequel. Mm-hmm. But I know him this is where I became a fan of his work, was really with one of the most underrated action series of all time, a show called Strike Back. This show is the fucking shit, and nobody talks about it except for fans of Strike Back.
I remember I watched the pilot when it came out, because I heard like, oh, it's really good. Like, it's it's going to surprise you. It's really good. Yeah. And I remember watching the pilot and being like, yeah, this is really good. I don't have Cinemax, so I'm not watching it. But
yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think I just blind bought the Blu-ray, because we didn't have Cinemax either. And I started blind buying the Blu-ray. But dude, you guys, especially all you fans out there of action movies from the 80s and 90s, right up your alley. A lot of fucking, a lot of shooting, a lot of gore, a lot of explosions. Oh my God, my cat is just coming up here. Hello. Hey, let's say hello to Gizmo. All right, buddy. I'll play with you later. Oh boy. He almost, the cute, adorable kitty almost shut everything down. He almost shut down the show, man.
Oh yeah, wait for one of my cute, adorable children.
I'm hungry.
In here.
Oh, yeah. I'm hungry. I'm shutting it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys have not seen Strike Back, it is phenomenal. The British actor who's his teammate, I'm a fan of him in this series as well. But I also heard good things about Blind Spot. Have you seen Blind Spot?
Again, I think I saw the pilot, and I never went back to it. But I remember Blind Spot. I mean, it's a huge show. People talk about Blind Spot, and like. Yeah, so dude has been around.
Yeah, it's like 100
for him to lead a movie.
Right, it's like 100 episodes, I think. Blind Spot or something like that. And I'm a fan of the actress. From those of you that are big Marvel fans, she was Sif in the Thor movies. What an awesome, badass character that was wasted constantly. But we'll talk about that. That was my Sif rant. Anyway, Strike Back could be confusing for some people, because there was a like British movie. That's kind of kicked off the idea, and then it was the series with the two guys.
Oh,
And
interesting.
and then that series ended with the two main characters, and then we had another series with a whole brand new team. So it could be confusing, but this is the only one you guys need to watch. Is with you see these two guys in it. That's the only reason. That's the only one. But yeah, but I heard good things about Blind Spot. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I like this guy's stuff so far, and J.K. Simmons. But dude, what happened? I mean, look at this. I looked up some images and look at all the different name changes. Renegades.
That's one of the things I was going to bring up is when I first Googled it, I was like, these all look like the same images, but is this the same movie? Like, so something happened.
That's yeah.
And just the fact that they were going to do a theatrical release in 2017, like that's a weird choice too, because this straight to DVD, straight to streaming, whatever. I can't imagine anyone putting this out in the theater. No offense to them, but like, it just doesn't seem like that kind of movie.
Right. Well, at the beginning, it had potential.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it. But yeah, all these different name changes. The Lake? What? The Lake. Horrible name. Renegades, Mission of Honor, American Renegades. Or this could be a case of this is how it's labeled in different countries. Sometimes that happens. But I think something behind the scenes happened where come on, man. 2017 is supposed to come out in theater, and then all of a sudden it's on Amazon Prime all these years later. So I'm curious. But now that's my conspiracy theory. If you guys know what happened, let us know. If there's something behind the scenes, there's some issues, and we understand that happens.
Oh yeah.
But I was
movies are a very complicated machine, and it's like, going through like the whole process for the first time with Bone Cold, like I had such a bigger understanding of what that beast is like and how at any point, including after the movie's done, if a distributor changes their mind, and I wonder if this is maybe what happened. Distributor changes their mind about how they want to handle something, and then they just start throwing ideas like new titles. Let's try to sell to this territory. Yeah, they don't like Renegades or Americans. Let's call it The Lake. Like it's possible. So it just gets really fractured and jumbled like that.
And what was tripping me out is, there's some filmmakers I've interviewed and talked to, and they've had projects that took 10 years. And it's just to finish, or just so many distribution issues. It's just been put their films on the shelf forever.
Yeah.
And then finally someone's like, yeah, we'll release it. You know what I mean? Do you know who Len Kopaczynski is?
I don't.
He's an indie filmmaker. Highly recommend Pact of Vengeance. It's fun, straight 80s homage. Nice. But he makes small budget movies, but they're, for what he could do with the budget, he's like one of the best.
Yeah.
But he just posted, I think a couple of weeks ago, he's like, hey, somebody finally released my movie on Tubi. I made it 10 years ago. And it was like this military thriller. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So it does happen.
I don't have a lot of great things to say about streamers, but that's one cool thing about them is that a lot of them, Tubi, actually, I do have a lot of good things to say about them.
Yeah.
But they will just scoop up projects and be like, hey, yeah, we'll put this up. Cool. This is 10 years old. Hey, everyone will make a little money. Cool.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys know, let us know. We're just curious. Curious. But let's go ahead and talk about American Renegades, directed by Stephen Quayle. There will be some spoilers in this for both films. Here's the plot synopsis. A team of Navy SEALs discover an underwater treasure in a Bosnian lake of Nazi stolen gold. An updated Kelly's Heroes. Nice plot synopsis, IMDb. Directed by Stephen Quayle again. J.K. Simmons, Charlie Booley, Sylvia Hoeks, Sullivan, Stapleton, we said him already, Joshua Henry, many others. Clemens Schick, who played Petrovic, who was like the antagonist. His face looks so familiar.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I knew him from.
He's in Andor. Maybe that's where I saw him.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Let me see. I'm looking through his filmography. But yeah, maybe it's Andor. I don't know. But yeah, he's got a face. He's like, yeah, I think I know that guy, right?
Yeah, that's a villain face.
Right. Yeah. But a movie kicks off. Hey, buddy, hold on. Sorry, guys. Come on, buddy. I'm hungry. I just fed you. This is what happens when you're live, buddy. You got to keep on going. Keep it moving. But yeah, the beginning of this movie, dude. It was so good. It was so well done. It was so badass. I was smiling the whole time. That when it was over, I said to myself with my big Joker smile, I said, "Love that Joker." No, I'm kidding. I said, I said, "This is why I love action movies.
Yeah.
This is why I fucking love this genre." But we're going to talk a little bit about it. So, what did you think of the beginning? I mean, this was a great opener.
I was surprised by the opening because I was, like I said, hadn't heard of it. Figured it looked like a straight to streaming thing. So I was like, it's going to be real cheese, real like super patriotic, like glorifying military, whatever. So when it opened, and I was like, this is actually like a really cool action scene, and it's like well thought out, well choreographed, and then like it was getting to some expendable levels, of action, like big action. I had some hope, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. Like maybe this will just be like a good old time, and we're just going to watch some shit blow up. I thought like everything went a little too far, like one step too far. They could have pulled it back a bit, like with tanks jumping off of bridges and stuff. But even with that said, like it was a really big, really cool opening, and there were some shots in there that I was impressed with. Some like vehicle stunts and stuff.
Like right in the beginning,
solid.
I was like, that's how you kick it off, man.
Yeah, and then the whole thing with them being fake press, that was really cool.
Yep. So they can get to the politician. They took the politician out. Yeah. And then it was all escape from there. But yeah, we had a little bit of hand combat.
Mm-hmm.
What another thing for my theory of something happened behind the scenes, which delayed this film. You can clearly see that there's moments in the film that are supposed to be R-rated, but the movie's actually PG-13.
Oh wow.
Yeah. There's a scene in the beginning where they're trying to break free. You can clearly see one of the soldiers break the guy's neck, but you hear nothing. You could totally tell there's supposed to be a crack there.
Yeah.
But PG-13.
I didn't even realize it was PG-13. That's funny, but that makes sense thinking back about it now. Yeah. It was surprisingly bloodless for being so violent in the beginning.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I got to play it. I got to play it now. There was a few like blood squibs, but they're like a CGI blood squibs.
Yeah.
Dudes on the boat. But that's as gory as violent as it got, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was enjoying the whole tactical, the team coming in, kicking ass, taking names, and we had some pretty fun gunplay. We had some bazooka shooting, like you tank stuff we had a tank chase.
Yeah. Tank chase, like a tank, they had the heavy machine gun battle, and like I was impressed. And they had that tower falling over. They like shot the bottom of the tower and it fell over to block the other guys pursuing them. Like there was a bunch of cool shit that happened right in the beginning.
Yeah. And I was still smiling, even though it got over the top with the
yeah.
It was still fun though, at least. I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
But they went in there, they solved their completed their mission.
Yeah.
But the way they did it, it wasn't supposed to be like that. They're supposed to be in and out, clean. Like, we're supposed to leave. Like, no one was supposed to know Americans were there.
Yeah.
American Navy SEALs were there. But yet, J.K. Simmons is like...
destroy a whole city.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is like, a tank! A tank! Like, anytime he rants, it's kind of gold. No matter what character it is. He just him ranting and yelling.
So I didn't know he was in it. After you recommended it to me, I looked it up to see if I could like just make sure I was watching the right one. But I didn't look up cast. I didn't look up anything. I saw who was on the poster, and I was like, okay, cool. And so I didn't know anything about it. When J.K. Simmons popped up, I was like, oh, okay, I'm in for something now. And then that character he played, I was like, yeah, I see why they went to J.K. Simmons.
So he's like, all right, now we gotta excuse me, we gotta clean up your mess. Now, Spider-Man, we gotta clean up your mess. So you guys go on leave, and we'll take care of it. So while they're on leave for a while, they do some drinking, a little bit of fighting. But our one of our soldiers here, characters at the bottom of the picture there, he has fallen in love with one of the girls, and one of the native girls. Was it Serbia where they were at? I'm trying to remember where they were at.
Yeah, I think they were saying Sarajevo.
Okay. Right. She works at a bar. They kind of fell in love, But she's got problems with. She's been getting bullied by a bad seed, and her brother have been bullying her because they know she knows some shit, and apparently she does. We had a flashback of it. Was it her great grandfather or grandfather? I think it was.
I think her grandfather, because this is back. This is back in the 90s, I think.
Yes, you're right. I enjoyed the Nazi World War II flashbacks. Was well done.
That's right. We didn't even talk about that. Yeah,
that was well done.
That was another opening that I was like, this is surprisingly, it looks really good. It doesn't look cheap.
Yeah, most of the budget probably went there.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, but yeah, she's fallen in love with one of the soldiers, and making a long story short, her country is things are not going well. People are poor, people are lost. But she tells the story of her grandfather, who was a child at the time. He found out where the gold was buried. He told her where the gold was buried. The Nazis were trying to steal that gold. They were trying to take. They ransacked the whole town, killed everyone. I was like, holy shit! They killed everyone. Her grandfather was the only one that escaped. But the crew he escaped with, that was kind of gangster, bro. When they blew the dam and the water went down there and just fucking killed all the Nazis, wiped out the town too, but there was nobody else left in there but Nazis and the gold.
Yeah,
that was pretty gangster. They were like, fuck it. And then you find out years later, the legend is that only she knows about this legend, that the gold is still down there buried at the bottom of the lake. So she's like, hey, can your friends help me while they're on leave here? Can they help me get the gold? We'll split it. I can help rebuild my country, and you have something for yourselves. And of course, our group of ragamuffin badasses here get together, and they're like, fuck yeah, fucking A.
Yeah. I felt like that moment in the movie is where someone should have had an objection to it, but they were all kind of like, yeah, let's go steal. Yeah, I want to go steal gold. Yeah, I want some gold. No hesitation at all.
Oh man, yeah, they're like, fuck it, let's do it. And so the majority of their time there, and they're like, hey, let's concoct a plan. Let's get supplies. Let's do what we need to do so we can go down there diving. And these guys are Navy SEALs professionals. They know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So here's where I feel, if people are expecting this, I mean, look at that shot. That brings Samurai Guy to the dance.
Yeah,
that brings Billy to the dance. That brings
I was here and ready for that
to the dance. Look at this poster, bro. Oh, that looks like a fucking action movie. Yeah. Look at that. Doesn't that look like an action movie?
It really does.
Right? I saw the trailer, the newest one.
Yeah.
So I was kind of prepared for it, but I'll still talk about how I feel about the movie when we get to the ending.
Yeah.
I was kind of prepared for it, but I could see why once we get to this kind of stuff, basically the heist is pretty much the rest of the film, I would say.
Yeah.
And there's really no action. I could see people that came for this basically by the end of it go, well, that wasted my time. Fuck this movie. I could see people being really mad.
Yeah. I was annoyed once I realized it was that.
Yeah.
Because what the opening promises.
Yeah.
Like, this is a military crew. They do military shit. They're really good at it. This is going to be like Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, but like big, like that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And then it just takes that hairpin turn where you just, I was waiting for it to get back. Like I thought it was going to be the heist with Navy SEAL stuff.
There you go. Yeah.
But it's a heist and they're just Navy SEALs. There's not really any shooting.
Yeah.
And we get once we get to the end with the big bad guy, I'm sure we're going to talk about that. But I was a real head scratcher. Like, what? Why did you set it up like that? Like,
exactly. Yeah. And I did actually read some comments on IMDb, and I came across some reviews where people were like, they love this movie. So I think that's great. They were entertained by it. They were like, they loved it. So that's awesome. But still, you kind of have to understand from other people's perspectives, like, look, they opened up the movie with this. Yeah. You cannot open up your movie with tank battle chase blowing the bridge, tank going over, people coming out, shooting other people in the boat. Like, you can't start with this and end with nothing. And that's like, oh man, when the villain died, I started laughing. I was like, oh, that's it?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come on. Like, no, that's not it. It can't be it, right? So were you concerned? Was your first red flag when the girl, the love of his life was getting bullied about the bar? Give us the bar. You're gonna hand us over the bar or something. I forgot what they were pestering her about.
They were pestering her for where that one gold bar was.
There it is.
And then I think they knew that she knew where the rest of it was, but she wouldn't tell them. So they were trying to bully her.
Right.
But I know that in that scene, they were going after that one gold bar.
That's right. Was that kind of your red flag? Like, oh, this movie's something different now.
I had a feeling it was going to be something different. And so I was like, okay, we're going to be going into this territory, and maybe they're going to be like, it's renegades. So maybe they're stepping outside their duties to like protect the locals when they're not supposed to.
No, it's the lake, Billy. It's the lake.
You know what? If it had been called the lake,
I
would have seen it coming a little bit more.
There you go.
Maybe that
the studio's like, no one's gonna. This is not gonna bring in the crowd. We gotta name it to Renegades Mission of Honor. No, wait a minute. That's too much.
Also, I've not to nitpick here. Is it a mission of honor? Because they're stealing previously stolen Nazi gold.
Right.
They're not returning it to who it was stolen from. They're returning it because it was stolen in Paris, wasn't it?
You have that scene at the end.
True. They give half. Yeah, they give half of it.
Which
back.
I was kind of surprised they did that, but to believe it. I thought they were going to just take their $3,000 each. They kind of got stiffed, but they were lucky they still had their jobs.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it stolen from Paris and then brought through Sarajevo, where it was like, and that's where they trapped the Nazis?
I think so,
because that's the Parisians' money,
right?
And she just wanted it for her country.
Yeah,
and I know that's like maybe splitting some hairs, but I'm like,
well, I think that's why J.K. like saved money for her, but the rest of the money went back to the country. Remember at the end?
Yeah,
the rest of the money went back to the country, but the rest of the $150 million he saved for her, for whatever she needed for her country. I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. The save face, J.K. Simmons gave the money back to.
That's acceptable. But I remember having that thought of like, you guys are stealing money that's not yours. It's not the Nazis' money, so I don't care about that. But it's also like, nothing to do with anyway.
I think they're trying to do like a Robin Hood thing.
Yeah. It was a little like, I thought we were shifting into like Three Kings territory. You know, I don't know if you remember that movie, like the early 2000s, but that one, like, it's almost the same thing. Like, they're stealing this money that's sort of unclaimed,
right,
in the midst of, being out there in a war. But we never really dealt with that in this movie. It was very much like they're just gonna figure out the logistics of lifting this gold from the bottom of the lake.
Well, I think they were like, hey, we're doing this to help the girl in her country, right? That's why we're really doing it. We take some
mission of honor. For the hot waitress that one of us is sleeping with. Honor.
But this is labeled as an action adventure on IMDb, so I could see the adventure side of it. They're going down there and they're trying to get the gold, and there is a few little action, like very brief. The main villain's hunting them. He wants to get revenge after the beginning of the film. So he's been, as J.K. Simmons says, headhunting them. So he drops a little bit of grenades down there. You get a few little explosions, and close calls moments, but nothing really like exciting. But this is, there he is up in there. Now see, this
is like, as someone who writes a lot, that's a massive no-no. Like, you don't, he's the bad guy they don't kill the bad guy. Another character kills the bad guy out of nowhere.
Right.
With no challenge, with no nothing. Like, it's such a strange.
You're right. No, you nailed it. You nailed it, because I was being patient, because from the trailer, I knew, like, if I just went into this just watching the first trailer, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
I would have been kind of like, I'm losing my patience, right? But since I saw the trailer, I was like, all right, it is heist. So I tried to be very patient with the film. I was like, okay, movie, I'll meet you on your own terms. All right. The heist is going to take up most of the film. Okay, let me just try to be patient, because I was at least expecting some kind of confrontation at the end.
Yeah.
Guns ablazing, let the team like barely surviving, barely making it out. But then they get the gold and they save the day. Maybe some of them don't make it. Maybe all of them don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
We got a Magnificent Seven type of thing, right?
Yeah.
But no, they they make it.
No one even gets hurt.
Huh?
No one even gets hurt.
No, they temporarily run out of breath for a little bit. That's as intense as the movie gets. Again, dodging a couple of grenades. That's it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they called. They had it planned for these two other soldiers to come meet them and pick them up. So when they show up at the end, our villain has our team dead to rights. Like, as soon as they come to the top, I'm kind of curious what their plan was, because while they were at the bottom dodging a couple of the grenades, they were like, yeah, there's some up there. I don't know how many are up there, but we got to get to the top. And I'm like, do you have a plan when you get up there?
Yeah, when he got up to the top, and I'm like, okay, here goes the action scene. The same as you. Like, I'm sure you were expecting the same thing, like a big showdown where they're going to be Navy SEALs fighting these bad guys again.
Yeah.
It's the main character with a pistol going pew, 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 and he misses every bullet and goes, oh, shit. and then the guy pulls out a bazooka, and they go, well, we're going to die now. There's nothing we can do.
He's going to pull out the bazooka. Come back to the guy, oh shit, and then credits. Credits. Well, the villains win in this movie.
Yeah, and all the gold just sinks to the bottom again. And
when he kept shooting and he kept missing at the end, I thought he was trying to hit the lights.
I thought he was trying to hit anything.
And then the lights go out, and then they get to the land. They swim to land, and then we have our action.
Yeah,
but no, the movie was like, well, that's about that time. We reached our 90 minutes, and here comes the plane out of nowhere, and they murk the one boat and blow it up. Now, granted, that was some fun murking, but once I realized, like, oh, the main villain is dead, just like that, it was so anticlimactic, man. Like, I was like, there was no tension.
They set him up as like the final fight, as the final, like, okay, this guy's coming. This guy's coming. He hasn't attacked them yet, but this guy's coming.
He's chasing him the whole movie.
He's got him.
Yeah.
Boom, he's dead. He's gone. And the movie's done now. Everyone's fine.
Pew, 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 pew. Oh, shit.
Just like after it was done, after he blew up, I had this moment of like, no one red flagged that. Like, no one red flagged that as maybe this is not a great climax of the movie.
That's it. We're done.
No, we got time for it. Yeah, they're flashing the light the comedians see, like, hey, time's up. Get off the stage.
The Gong Show.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What is it like? I'm gonna. What is it? Coming to America.
Yeah. But man, I was ready for, and I was actually ready to like an action scene at the end where they have to somehow carry, what is it? They said 27 tons of gold bars. Like, I want to see an action scene of them transporting that and fighting off bad guys. Like, dude, that's what I want to see for sure.
Amazing. That would have been awesome.
But
at least fend off, get out of the water, get to the land, and then just survive until you get picked up. Yeah. Then at the end, have the plane come in and swarm, but have them go through some adversity, take out a whole bunch of dudes. One of the, some of them get shot, maybe not die, but they injured. They're fighting for their life. They're trying, and then the plane shows up. Something,
instead
of anything. Pew pew pew. Oh shit!
Again, screenwriting 101. you have to make it difficult. You have to make everything difficult for your characters. It has to be a challenge. It has to be a fight. Like, and they have Navy SEALs and bad guys. That's the easiest thing to do, but it just undercuts itself so bad at that point.
They dodged a couple of grenades underwater. It's all right.
Yeah,
a couple of.
I mean, what was wild to me too is like, it's not like they were really saving money by not doing stuff, because they had those grenades like toppling underwater buildings, and I'm like, this looks pretty cool and pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But then there's no final fight scene.
Yeah, that's just that's so bizarre. Again, I was like, okay, I'm gonna meet this movie on its own terms. It's a heist film now. I'm gonna be patient. But I was still expecting some kind of action climax. You cannot start your movie with this.
Yeah.
With Expendables level awesomeness. You can't. I mean, when our crew shows up, I mean, they're like, let's rock and roll. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. Again, when I was cracking that smile, and I was telling myself, this is why I love action movies. I was that pumped up. And then nothing.
Just nothing.
And not just visually, you have the villain hunting them throughout the whole movie to get revenge. J.K. Simmons amped me up too, because he's like, you guys need to just stay put. Do not go anywhere. Stay put, because they are headhunting you guys.
Mm-hmm.
They are coming after you. Now, doesn't that sound like, oh, shit.
Shit is going down.
It's going to go down, baby. No. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I know we're hitting this point really hard, but I hope anyone watching understands how much of a like blue ball moment that was.
Yes.
Like,
it's important.
It was such an like the bottom just drops out of everything, and you realize this is the end of the movie. Oh, it's done now.
Yeah.
And everything that we've been thinking is going to happen is not going to happen, even like a little bit.
Yeah. It's like, but the movie kept going. Yeah, there was a few comedic moments from J.K. Simmons, because he's a legend.
Yeah.
He's like, you bring a what did you say? You bring a female into an action or something.
Yeah.
You bring a female with you on a mission? A civilian female Spider-Man.
Actually, that's a pretty good J.K. Simmons impression.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, he had me cracking up sometimes. There was the one scene where they like admit to doing the heist, and or they're like going after gold. And he's like, they said, well, we're gonna give it to this woman to help her rebuild her country. He goes, wow, I might cry. Actually, no, I don't think I'm gonna do that. His delivery was so perfect.
He like paused and turned to the window.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, so him being hilarious is a positive, and of course, we have the gold. Some of the gold, the majority of it goes back to the country, but then he saves a little bit for the civilian female, and he gives some bullshit checks to the team. We have this dramatic moment. Oh, sorry. Hey, buddy.
Oh, you know what?
He got me in the leg, guys. Sorry. He got me in the leg.
That's a
they give her all their checks, and
yeah. They have a nice little emotional moment. And I was like, okay, this is good like.
And then she takes him out to Sizzler at the end.
Yeah, I hope so. It's funny because like they make kind of a joke of their like how J.K. Simmons has divvied up their share of the gold, right? Like he says, okay, here's all your shares, and he walks one by one. Here you go. And they'll look at their checks, and it's like a $3,000 check, and they're like, this is no money. Like this is not what we made. So that's kind of a funny moment. And then he gives her the 150 million, the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then they have that very symbolic gesture of like, okay, yeah, and this is for you, and this is for you. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, you're only giving her $3,000. Just
that's true.
Tell her good job. That's not going to make a difference. Like, you're not sacrificing anything.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, now that you mention that, that is kind of like, all right, here's your.
Yeah, you can't like make it. If they had like $30,000 each or something like that, it'd be like, all right, you know what? He's another 100,000.
This is what Billy should have wrote. He should have wrote this movie. Good job, Luke.
Yeah.
Man.
It's so crazy. Luke,
something happened.
I think something happened. Someone changed gears at a certain point, and maybe they, speculating, they ran out of money. They couldn't do a big action scene at the end, and so all they had was this underwater fight scene that was, I mean,
wow,
weird to look at.
Until you mentioned that, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, I actually only in talking about it, I was like, wait, they had a fight, but it was all underwater. You can't tell who's who. You can't really tell what's happening. The girl, the
wow, I
civilian,
forgot about that.
yeah.
I just watched this movie yesterday, guys. That's not good.
Yeah,
That I
watched it
already
this
forgot
morning, and I had to
a
remember.
fight scene. I forgot about a fight scene in the movie. That's so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Yeah.
And it was just like knives to start with tank battles, and you sort of end with knife fights underwater.
Right. Come on, buddy.
You should have sicked your cat on him.
I know.
That would have been more exciting.
There's a fly in the house. I think we're going after the fly. Oh my god. You ruined StreamYard. I gotta get back to where I'm at now. Yeah. And here's another theory. Something else went wrong. Bro, I think the end credits was like 10 minutes.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, this is not Lord of the Rings extended cut end credits. Why are these credits so long? I don't know if it was 10 minutes. It might be less, but I was like, I thought it was around like an hour 37, and then the end credits was like 45 or something. Wow. Like it was something like that. It was long, and I was like, okay, when they're padding with the credits, something else is wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't get mad at people for hating this movie. Like, I understand.
Yeah,
I don't hate it. There's things in there that I did enjoy. Again, I was kind of prepared because I saw that trailer. If I didn't see that trailer, I'd probably be a lot more harsh on it. But I'll be nice, and I'll say I liked it. It's a decent time waster. You just want to watch something for an hour and a half, and then you're done.
Yeah,
you're not gonna. It's harmless. It's harmless.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's probably not gonna piss people off. It's not aggressively bad. It's
some people are. Some people hate this movie, dude.
Yeah, I would say it's not like aggressively terrible. It's just sort of empty and hollow and a shell of an idea of a movie. Like
I'm telling you, all they needed was action at the end, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
And I get it. You run out of time and money. I get it. But dude, just random, dude.
Action. Yeah.
Do we got to go back to 80s ninja movies where it's literally the same stuntman just coming around the corner again, getting killed? All they needed was 5 or 4 soldiers shooting back at them at the end. They could have got killed, and then they could have came around the corner again or something.
It's nighttime. Have them in silhouette.
Dude, nighttime. There you go.
Yeah.
Come on.
Anything. Any kind of fight. I will say, there are a couple things that I liked and was impressed with, which is another reason I think I was so frustrated watching this. The fight scenes themselves, especially the hand-to-hand stuff, I was like pretty impressed with. Like there were some good scenes that were like, oh, I felt that punch, And so I was
it's when they fought some other soldiers, and when the lover here was fighting these guys. It was pretty solid, hard-hitting stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty effective.
But you know what I was thinking? Every time they had stuff like that,
what's that?
That was there only to wake up the audience.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that when they had the fight like on the back half of the movie against the other soldiers on their base, I was like, why are we fighting our soldiers?
Dude,
fight the bad guys.
That was there
to
wake up the audience. That was it.
Yeah.
That was like the only reason.
Without a fight scene. Just who are they around? They're around other soldiers.
The scene where they're testing out the helicopter, and then they have that fight with the jet. That was another random. All right, we gotta wake up the audience.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about the jet helicopter fight because I remember, like, I'm pretty sure, I'm not a military person, but I'm relatively certain a jet can destroy a helicopter very quickly. I could be wrong.
That was that pilot's first day. On the job, and
they caught a trainee on flight patterns.
Yeah. So, but yeah, everybody watching right now, if you guys have seen American Renegades, let us know in the comments what you honestly thought about it. If you loved it, if you enjoyed it. But yeah, just a warning again: if you're expecting this Do not.
No.
Here, because I have this thing or way about me, Billy, and it all started with Blade Trinity.
Uh-huh.
And when I was in the theater, that's right, I paid money to see Blade Trinity. When I was in the theater, and after that opening action sequence, I thought to myself, this is the best part of the movie. And it was. And when I was watching this, I was smiling and I was like, man, this is why I love action movies. A little birdie in the back was reminding me that might be the best part of
the movie. You've been hurt before. Don't fall for it. Yeah.
Don't get too excited. Yeah. Lower your expectations. But yeah, I mean, check it out if you guys are curious. You can watch it on Amazon Prime for free. Just out of curiosity, but just man, that's all they needed, dude.
It's good to have on. Wake up for the action scenes for a few minutes. Like they're fun to watch. It doesn't look cheap, which is crazy.
Yeah. Or just watch the beginning of the movie, and then right after this happens, just turn it off.
Yeah, you just be done.
You're good.
That's all you. That's all you need. Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was one other thing that I really liked about it. And I'm blanking on it now. I don't know, man. I guess it was just the action. I'm just remembering the action. I was just honestly impressed that it didn't look cheap. It looked really good. But the director's a second unit director. I looked him up a little bit. He does a lot of second unit stuff on big movies. So I guess it makes sense that the big action stuff is really, it like looks good.
Yeah.
But maybe it's kind of just filler and
maybe when they were filming all this, the dailies and stuff, people were like, oh, this is going to be awesome. We got to release this to theater. Put the trailer out to theater.
Oh, that's very possible.
And then maybe along the way, they were like, you know what? Let's turn this into a heist movie. Let's have some shenanigans, more comedy. We need romance, and then it just, I don't know. Who knows if it just sat on the shelf for a couple of years.
It could have. It's just unfortunate. Nothing. It's like a nothing of a movie. It's like Three Kings without the action and the style, and it's it's not Oceans. It's not that kind of heist. It's not like a complicated heist. They go underwater and they have to drill. It's like Armageddon. They have to drill through something. Like that's the biggest part of the movie. They had a whole sequence in there. I'm going to start shitting on it again. They had a whole the heist. They just go underwater. And they're just drilling through the concrete and then the brick.
Yeah.
And they find some gold bars. And then they're like, oh, no, they're down here.
Right.
They drill and they do it again. And I was like, man, we've been building this up a lot. And if we're just drilling through some concrete and some brick, anyway, I'll stop now.
It's sad because we're trying to be nice. We're trying to be positive because me and Billy have seen way worse movies.
Oh yeah,
action movies.
What makes it so frustrating because did it here. I know this team can do this.
Yeah, the more we talk about it, the more we're starting to get depressed now.
I was myself up a little bit man, do I hate this movie?
Yeah, so I'll be nice. I liked it, but it's. I'd probably be a lot harsher on it if I saw that first trailer and went in.
Yeah, see, I didn't see any trailers or anything, so I was kind of going in blind, and I was just like, all I had was what they were setting me up for, which was not what they gave us.
When your main villain dies and I start laughing, that's not a good sign, and it's not supposed to be funny. Yeah, that's not good, man.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's it for American Renegades, and now we're going to Wet Hot American Summer 2001. I have never seen this movie before. I know you guys are like, oh, what?
So happy when you said you'd never seen it because I'm like, all right, I know what my pick is then.
Plot synopsis here for those who have not seen it. Set on the last day of camp in the hot summer of 1981, a group of counselors try to complete their unfinished business before the day ends. Unfinished business of shenanigans, but we're going to get into that. A lot of fun shenanigans. Directed by David Wayne. And starring everyone. This movie stars everyone. Janine Garofalo, David Hyde Pierce, Michael Showalter, Paul Rudd, Zach Orth, 80 Miles, Christopher Maloney, Molly Shannon, Joe Lou Trujillo, Ken Marino, Amy Poehler, Bradley Cooper, Elizabeth Banks. Like I said, everyone is
so
in
many
this
people.
movie. Yeah, it's insane, man. When I saw the cast, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I saw this movie for the first time, and this is like a very formative movie for me. Not even as a filmmaker, just as a person. I saw this when I was a teenager. I was probably like 15, 16.
Yeah.
And
oh, wow.
We like blindly rented it from the video store, and I just watched it at home with all my friends, and we were crying, sweating, laughing. Like we had no idea what we were in for.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it was just like, I can quote this whole movie from beginning to end, probably.
Nice. Do you agree that this is like consider a cult classic, or was this a hit when it came out?
No, it was very under the radar. Like no one knew what it was. Like I was very into every release coming out, and I had never heard of it. I had never seen The State, which is where a lot of this crew comes from.
Right.
But so it was just completely under every radar, and I know it was like very, very low budget, independent. And so I think cult classic is really is an appropriate term for this one.
Nice. Well, it has some kind of fan base now, because on Netflix you can watch. Was it the sequel, and then there's a series, right?
So it's two series actually. It's two series on Netflix. Yeah, there's like I forget which one is first now because it's been a while, but it was Wet Hot American Summer 10 years later, and then Wet Hot American Summer First Day of Camp.
They're both shows. Okay.
Yeah, they're both series, and they're both so weird. Like they're so weird and so bizarre, funny.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, you know what? I haven't seen whatever the second one was. I saw the whole first series, and then for whatever reason, I never went back to the other one. I will eventually.
So you were kind of like, eh?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't the movie. The movie is like the holy grail for me.
Right.
But I mean,
it was
watch it.
It was fun. It was fun seeing the veterans come back just for fun, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they made a big joke about how they were, in the movie they were in their 20s playing teenagers.
Yeah,
and then in the show they were in their 40s playing teenagers.
which is an 80s movie staple.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, if you watch Christine, those high schoolers will look like they're about 45 years old. I mean, it's like, it's tradition. Probably actually that's been around probably since the 50s.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. They got adults, like grown adults, like playing like either high schoolers, senior year, or early college students. They're like adults. But so I will tell you my experience, Billy.
I'm so excited to hear
with watching this movie. So I'm watching the movie. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what the movie's doing. It's a throwback movie, making you have all the feels of the 80s. All right, 1981. All right, I'm down with that. I love me some 80s throwback. Let's go. So I'm watching it, and I have a smile on my face, right? And I'm watching it, and I'm like, well, this is a nice, warm, little cuddly comedy, right? I was like, well, this is nice, right? That was my reaction. I was like, well, this is a nice little comedy. And then when things started to go insane and things were straight up hell's a poppin', which means just fucking insanity happens later. That's when I like sat up and I'm like, okay, this is my kind of comedy now. When things were going insane and to be so random, I'm like, all right, you're drawing me in even more now, movie. Because I was like, at first I was like, oh, it's a nice little cute, pleasant 80s throwback comedy. And then
a little romantic comedy.
Right. Yeah. I was like, but then when things got crazy, I'm like, I see why Billy likes this, and I see why he recommended it to me. That's when it drew me in, man, and I was dying.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
There's a moment that it sort of turns every time I show it to somebody.
Yeah.
There's a moment, and it's sort of in the beginning where, it's like you were saying, it seems like a nice, warm, cute, quirky little movie.
Nice little hug, right? Little hug. Remember romantic comedies from the 80s? Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Like really sweet. And then it's the moment where, Michael Showalter, Coop, I guess lead. I don't know if there's a lead, but he's talking to his crush, Katie, and they have a cute little interaction. And then she walks away and he goes, I want you inside me. And he turns around and says, what? He says, oh, no, I was just perfect.
Yeah, I was dying. I was like, what?
That
I had the
moment,
same reaction.
everyone is kind of like, wait, what did he just say? And from there, it just like gets weirder and weirder and
and
weirder.
that's what made me enjoy more, man. The
Yeah.
weirder it got, I was like, yes, I was enjoying this. And right off the bat, oh my God, Paul Rudd in this movie, man.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Iconic.
Like amazing in this movie. Just him. I mean, he's like the hot guy, sleazebag, asshole, doesn't give a shit about his girlfriend kind of character, but all the girls want him and he knows it. And he's lazy and useless. Like just this one scene where, he's eating food and for no reason because he's a dick, like just throws the plate and shit on the floor. And then Janine Garofalo, who's the director of the camp, he's like, you better pick that shit up. And we had this long throwing a fit. Throwing fit that only Paul Rudd could throw.
Oh, yeah.
Only he could do this.
I mean, this is what I think of when I think of Paul Rudd. Like, this scene specifically. And I will tell you, I have a 6-year-old, and he, the other day, knocked a plate over on the floor. And I was like, hey, buddy, you got to go pick that up. And he goes, I'm too busy right now. And then he was like playing video games or something. Yeah. And I had a real surreal moment of like, oh my God, that Paul Rudd scene is happening to me right now.
And it took forever to pick up and then he knocks the toast farther and he has to go get the toast. And it's like the biggest ordeal just to do pick up, clean up his stuff. But yeah, I was like, oh man, Paul Rudd in this. Oops, sorry. Paul Rudd in this movie was just like ridiculous, man. I mean, oh my God. These actors and actresses in this movie were very gung-ho. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of tonsil searching here.
There was
surfing.
Lots of fluid swapping, so to speak.
And his character's such a dick. He's like making out and like kids are drowning and shit. Like, did he even find the kid? I think the kid just died.
Yeah. And then they take that kid out, and I think they kill him and dump him out of the side of the van because he was a witness.
Yeah. Anytime there was a kid getting thrown out of a van, it was random. It happened like a couple of times in the movie. Oh my God, dude! I just kept busted up. See, this was the stuff I was like, okay. I'm like really on board with this movie now. The crazier it gets.
I had a feeling if you gave it those first few minutes and you weren't like, oh God, this is gonna be awful.
Right.
Then it's like, I think it's gonna get you.
Yeah. Oh man, but all of these characters, the Paul Rudd's character, you had the Bradley Cooper and this guy. Oh man, the drama counselors.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so funny.
I will often say, are we in the Cleveland Playhouse right now?
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Like even when they had to do the talent show at the end, like she made an announcement. She was like, they all suck dick, but you can clap if you want to. Oh my God. I was dying, man. Hey, Sean 99 in the house. What's going on, brother? These are the good old days for films. Yes, for sure. Yeah. Man. I'm new to the dance here. But yeah, so you got a good movie with a lot of good, great, memorable characters. Well, I'm still, because I just watched this film, and I'm still trying to figure out who's my favorite.
Yeah.
It might be Paul Rudd, but I don't know, man. This guy right here.
I mean, I feel like I identified with his character.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I haven't humped any fridges or fondled my sweaters or anything, but like, there's something about him that's so genius. It's just so.
I just love the random pop-up out of nowhere moments.
Yeah,
it just shows up.
Yeah.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing, man? Don't you know? Yeah, you better. Yeah, it was in the Vietnam War, man. You don't know shit, man. Like just random, just showing up out of nowhere.
Man, you must have had a lot of fun pulling the gifts for these. There's just so many moments in the movie.
Oh, I know. I know. It's hard to just review the film. We're just talking off the cuff.
I know, because what's the plot, you know? The plot is it's summertime.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be really funny for a while.
Yeah. And it's like, they're like, fuck it. All these shenanigans happen because they're like, hey, it's the last day, of camp. So they're like, hey, let's get crazy. But yeah, a lot of kooky characters. You have our guy here. He's in love with the hot chick. We'll just call him the hot girl. Janine has a crush on David Hyde Pierce's character. What was his career? What was he was
astrophysicist.
Right. Which goes insane with his character later. Like out of nowhere, he's just like, hey, oh shit, I gotta tell you something for a second. What did you say? He's like, wait here, meet me over here on the bench in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
He goes over there.
Janine follows 10 full seconds and then goes back. You may remember 10 seconds ago, I asked you to meet me at this bench.
Yeah. See, comedy like that, I'm like, oh, this is great.
It's so hard to describe like why it's funny. It's just funny. Like it's just so unexpected and bizarre. And like, I think unexpected is the word because that's how most of this movie hits. I think that's where all the jokes are. You're just not expecting what's about to happen.
Yeah. Hell's a poppin', which is a term I've never heard of until Rick Myers said it. And when I was reading his books, I was like, what the hell? And he was talking about just movies where you have a ninja fight and the next scene is a musical now. Like movies that are just insane. He calls it Hell's a Poppin'. So it stayed with me for years. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just really a lot of fun. And you have Molly Shannon's character with the kid, the psychiatrist kid level here. I mean, she's like arts and crafts like counselor, right?
Yeah. And has a mental breakdown when there aren't enough crayons for all the kids.
Yeah.
And then her whole divorce comes out, and oh boy,
this kid out of nowhere just has the perfect things to say to encourage her and make her strong, and she ends up leaving with the kid later. At the end of the movie, she says, "Fuck off."
They're getting married.
Fucks off to they get married, and she says she fucks off to the ex who comes back at the end. Just so random. But oh man, these characters right here, man. He's like, I gotta share some with you, man. I'm a virgin. He was like, oh my god, you're such a loser. What's his name here?
Ken Marino is the one driving, and then Joe Latruglio is the one the passenger with the glasses. Yeah, he's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, Joe Latruglio is hilarious.
Yeah. He's so funny, man.
And I'm glad he got Brooklyn. It was a Brooklyn
Nine-Nine. Yeah,
Nine-Nine. I'm glad he got that gig because I'm a big fan of Reno 911.
Oh, same.
I have not watched the show since it came back.
Mm-hmm.
The movie was funny too, but unfortunately, the last season before the show got canceled, and then years before they brought the show back, they lost some cast members, and it wasn't as funny. And they brought him in. They brought in a new cast, a couple of new cast people. Unfortunately, when they brought him in, the show wasn't as funny, so he was kind of wasted. There, he had his moments, but with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I loved him in Role Models. Let us gingerly touch our tips. Like he was hilarious in Role Models.
Also directed by David Wayne.
Yeah, there you go. I'm one of the few. Let me know which one you like better. There's no wrong answer because we like comedies, right? But I'm one of the few that when Hangover came out, The Hangover like blew up and took over the whole world, right?
Yeah.
And then I watched The Hangover and I enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining. There were some moments in that that cracked me up. And then I watched Role Models after that. I was like, fuck The Hangover, dude. Role Models is like 100 times funnier than this. But no one was talking about Role Models.
I still am surprised that people don't talk about Role Models. It's really funny and really good. Like it's really in that nice sweet spot of it's the right cast, the right script. Like it's genuinely weird and funny, but still really mainstream and accessible. Like, I'm surprised it wasn't a smash hit. But
yeah, dude. Like I barely saw like a trailer for that movie or a TV spot, But yeah, if you guys have not seen Role Models, fucking hysterical. Which is funny because the Asian actors in both those films, I forgot his name right now. He was in Role
Ken
Models.
Jeong,
Ken. He was in both of those movies, Hangover and Role Models, which is kind of funny. But yeah, this guy, Victor just wants to get laid with the camp slut.
Yep.
Oh my god, I was dying because she was fucking everyone, and then at the end, she's like making up. He finally catches up with her at the end because that's the whole deal, you know. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna ditch these kids, fuck these kids, and I'm gonna get out of here. So he abandons the kids in the van. He finally shows up at the end. He's all beat up and bloodied and bruised. He's like, I'm finally here. Was it Abby? It was Abby, right?
Abby, yeah.
Yeah, here we go. He just literally ditches the kids and the van. And we had a nice little fun, ridiculous motorcycle chase here, chasing after him. And I love the hay gag. There's like a small little piece of hay in the middle of the road, and he jumps over it, and then the guy on the bike just can't chase him because there's hay. You can't go around it or anything or jump it. You know, he's got to stay there.
No, it is very clearly
he got away.
Yeah.
Yeah. He finally catches up with her at the end. He's like, I'm here, Abby, let's do it. And she's like making out with one of the older kids.
And then she forgot his name. She's like, wait, what's your name again? It's like, you have no idea what I went through.
I grew up in the 80s. I'm old enough. I don't remember the gum thing. Because that was a thing throughout this movie. I give the girl a gum, she chews it, I chew a piece of gum, and then we make out.
Then you make out. I mean, it's refreshing for everybody, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I was a child. So, man, that's probably why I didn't get it. I wasn't a teenager in 1981. But just a lot of craziness. Just, again, the random comedy moments is really what sealed the deal for me. I think my favorites, one of my see, that's the thing. I'm trying to think. Who's my favorite character? What's my favorite scene? That's how you tell it's a great comedy.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying one of them because I'm still trying to pick it. Janine Garofalo's character, she's trying to go into town. She's trying to impress David Hyde Pierce's character. So she goes into town, and then all of a sudden it becomes this ordeal. Like everyone's like, "Oh my god, the director's going into town. Hey, my husband's coming to pick me up. Can you give me something for you know what? You know, just out of nowhere, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
And then everyone jumps in the truck, and then it's a big ordeal. But what I love about this scene is that it's this fun little montage. You know, they're having McDonald's, they're having a good time, they're going into town, yay! And then out of nowhere, wait, hold on. Then they get some beer, right? They're like, yeah, look at Janine over there doing some punches. Yeah, I love the karate punches there. Right? They're like, yeah, it's all wholesome and nice. And then out of nowhere, it just gets insane. They jack an old lady.
Yeah.
They take her purse, they rob this old lady, and then all of a sudden they start buying drugs. and then they're at a crack house at that point, and they're all like fucked up, they're twitching. Oh my god! You know what I love about that scene? Not just because of what I just said, but what I love about that scene is on the way back to camp, they're all fine.
Oh yeah, 100% fine.
No beat up blood moments. No,
they were like life ruining, messed up. Like missing teeth. I think Amy Poehler had missing teeth.
She was all beat up for some reason. And when they come back to camp, they're all fine. Everything's okay with it.
Yeah, and I love going to town, even for an hour, because they were only gone for an hour and now.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. But you know, our after our boy here, he embraces who he is. Okay, no more hiding. All right, he wants to put. You know, he has his best friend, a mixed can of vegetables, right? Mixed vegetables can. Is his best friend, starts talking to him. I'm like laughing. I'm like, all right. And he tells him, hey, I can suck my own dick. Right? I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah.
But you got to be yourself, man. You want to put mud on your ass, do it. All right. You want to hump for refrigerators, you do it. So we have this speech come out. I thought when he was finally coming out being himself, the way Janine Garofalo was looking at him, I was like, oh, he's in trouble. Like at first, like the way she was looking at him, she was like, what are you doing? There's children here. What are you doing? But then it's like the more emotional he got with his speech, the more everyone else is like, they're like crying and clapping. Beautiful. They're cheering for him. All I needed was a cut to Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid going,
yeah.
That's all they needed. Oh my god! And this is so. And then he brings out the fridge for him to hump.
Yeah. Oh, they
It's
just
fucking
had the fridge
hysterical.
ready to go. He knew which fridge he was going to.
Oh my goodness!
Which fridge he was attracted to.
Oh my.
But just picture like 15 or 16-year-old Billy, no idea. And I laugh at a lot of stuff, but like, I mean, humping the fridge, I was crying with laughter. Like,
Yes, yes.
what is happening?
Yes. Hey, what's up, Terrence? How you doing? Oh, he's I'm one of the coolest guys on YouTube. Hey, you are one of the coolest. That's right, T-Virus. Yeah. I don't like most humans. Well, we don't blame you. But you're a cool guy from what I've seen and heard. Well, I appreciate that, man. You're cool too, brother. Thanks again for hanging out. And you know what's hilarious about T-Virus just getting here? He probably just got here when I was showing this. And he still thinks I'm cool. All right. Hey,
you know, let's not give him any context. Let's just let it lie now.
But yeah, as soon as he becomes himself, the character, you have our what you call this guy right here.
Oh yeah,
he's like
the hero of the story.
Yeah, he's like, show me the way. He showed me the way. He's like, I could be myself and come out of my shell and impress the hot chick. And then we get this hilarious montage, which at first was like typical sports montage. They go jogging, at first, kind of like the Rocky stuff, right? You get do jogging and stuff like that. Some exercise stuff, and then all of a sudden it just goes into this dance mode. It comes down. I love the guy on the right wasn't even a part of anything, but he just randomly
there too.
He just randomly shows up, and then then we have this whole flash dance montage. Oh my god, man, I was dying. I was like, oh my goodness. Well, I was dying, man. And then I love his moment when he shows up at the end. He's supposed to be cooler, even though he looks like a dork still.
Yeah,
but he's still he's got the headband, the cut off shirt. He walks in there like all like a bad
cool now.
Yeah, Elizabeth Banks and all the girls are like, what? Like even Paul Rudd's character's like looking nervous. He's like, oh man, I got competition.
Paul Rudd has one of the best reaction shots ever, where it's just like. like full surprise.
And he finally impresses the girl, and they do their thing. But let's talk about the talent show, which was the whole movie was leading up to this. Oh my god, this show was it was fucking hysterical. I think my favorite though was the musical number part. When all the kids come out, they start singing the musical number, and then everyone's like jamming with it, man. Like everyone's like singing along and like jamming with it, and everyone's like, yeah, this is amazing. And right when the song ends, right when the song ends, they're like, boo. Boo,
and like angry too.
Yeah,
it's like me watching American Renegades, like, get off the stage.
God damn it, poor American Renegades.
I know. I had to take that one. Sorry.
American Renegades Blue Balls the movie.
Yes.
Blue Balls the movie. Oh my god. But yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
That's the title.
That was a great comparison. That was a great comparison, by the way. Yeah. Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god. That's your connection with both movies. There it is. Yeah. There's the connection in both movies. We nailed it, despite American being in the time.
Right.
Oh my god.
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah. God. I know we've left out whole.
It's hard to talk. It's hard to talk about the movie. It's so random.
Yeah. I mean, everything with David Hyde Pierce just cracks me up. Like every single line he delivers is so funny. Did you notice the sound effects joke? The recurring breaking glass sound effects.
Yes.
Every time anything gets tossed off screen, there's the same glass breaking sound effect. And I don't know if I caught it the first time I watched it. Yeah. But it's just something on repeat viewing that I'm just like cracks me up every time. And by the way, I've seen this movie 50 times at this point. But I was watching it again today just to make sure it's fresh in my mind. And I was in here cackling by myself watching this. My wife's like, are you just watching Wet Hot American Summer and laughing this hard? I'm like, yes, it's so funny. And like David Hyde Pierce getting the results from one of the best line readings in history, where he's getting the results of whatever tests they're doing for the piece of Skylab that's going to crash into the camp, and he just goes, "Oh, fuck my cock."
The only way David Hyde Pierce could say it.
Oh,
Speaking of David Hyde Pierce, have you seen The Perfect Host?
No, but I do know what it is.
Dude, that's a hidden gem, bro.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to see that one then.
Yeah.
Because I like him a lot. And I remember when that movie came out, it's just one of the ones I missed.
Yeah.
I never went back to it, but
yeah, it's one of those, it was like a blind watch. We were like, oh, what is this? I mean, my wife watched it and we were like, oh, it's one of those type of movies. Okay. And then we were all in. So you'll I don't want to spoil it, but you kind of already know what it's about. But The Perfect Host, check it out. If you guys like thrillers, check out The Perfect Host. Yeah. All I'll say is this: the minor spoiler is this criminal broke into the wrong guy's house. That's all I'll say.
Oh, right. Actually, that I did know. I feel like I saw a trailer or something, and I
yeah. That's all I'll say. That's it. Nice. Nothing else. But yeah, I mean, he's the satellite. They're trying to prevent the satellite. I like the freak out, the Janine Garofalo and Joe freak out.
Yeah,
that was epic. Where they're just panicking. They're panicking because she's panicking because the satellite's eventually going to fall. Then they're both panicking because our boy. Would you say his name was
Ken Marino?
Victor.
Victor.
The character of Victor. Abandoned the kids that are on the raft. Actually, Joe abandoned them too.
Yeah.
So you have these kids still on this raft. Go like never. It's like forever. Like here's the waterfall. The kids are still sitting here forever.
Yeah.
I love the random cutbacks to them sitting there screaming.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Dad! But what about the kids? Dad! It would cut back to this freak out where they're destroying everything. But
it's again like, why are they doing that? Why is it so goddamn funny? But it is. It's absolutely hysterical. Yeah. And I also love too when Victor abandons them to go sleep with Abby, and there's that whole Joe Trulio's like, all right, I'm gonna go find him. I don't know how to navigate the rapids. Like, what?
And he just leaves them.
The river, you're going. But as he's jumping out of the raft, he goes, okay, wait here. It's like floating away.
But of course, all the kids get saved. The satellite does not hit the camp.
Nope.
And we have a little bit more fun shenanigans after that. But yeah, man, this was a great recommendation. I wish there was more to talk about, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Because there's so many random scenes. I think we covered a lot, though.
Yeah.
I think we covered a lot of the main meat of it.
There's all the
last day of camp, stuff. Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
It's just like weird and hysterical from top to bottom for no reason. I remember showing it to a friend once and I was like, I know he's gonna love it. But at the end of it, he was almost like silent. And he sat there for a minute and he goes, that was both not as weird and way weirder than I thought it was going to be. That's how those guys are, man.
That's about right.
Have you ever seen the other one that David Wayne did that I really liked was Wanderlust?
No.
That's Paul Rudd and like Malin Ackerman and that Jennifer Aniston. Like it's a really, really good cast, but David Wayne did that one too.
Yeah.
And that leans a little bit weirder than Role Models.
Right.
But that's another good one if you like this and Role Models.
But there's good weird and bad weird. Good weird is this movie and the movie Billy's recommending. Bad weird is Cherry 2000.
Right. That's confounding weird.
You could say fascinating weird.
Yeah.
In a way. But yeah, you got to watch our Cherry 2000 review to kind of catch up on that one.
I mean, we did talk about that movie for a long time. We had a lot to dissect on that.
It was a lot of fun talking about that one. But look, I got to show my boy here. Look, what? Showing the love here. Look at my boy. Yes.
Me and some friends in college, and we had a Wet Hot American Summer party.
That is amazing.
And
the character of Gene.
Yep. I mean, I had my spatula and my can
of mixed vegetables. Oh my God, that's so funny, man. That's so funny.
I actually remember that party too.
Yeah.
That was not my Buffy poster back there. That was
I was getting ready to ask. I wasn't gonna judge. I was not gonna judge. I was like, all right, you like some Buffy. But yeah, how epic is that? Thanks again for showing this amazing picture there.
I mean, I can't wear a cutoff like that and not share it.
Oh man, but yeah, this was a blast. Great recommendation, brother. It saved the day after American Blue Balls. It saved
Yeah.
the day. You know, bro, the more we talk about it, I'm starting to get a little angry now. Like
Because what could have been?
I might change liking it to fuck this movie. Did we jinx ourselves?
We may have. I think we both came into this with good intentions.
We jinxed ourselves.
Like we wanted to be kind.
Yes, because in the beginning we were like, we have yet to come across a movie where we're like,
yeah. And I feel like
you know what? Fuck this movie. I'm taking it back. No, fuck it.
I have to be.
Still,
I have to be honest. I'm right there
still
with
watch
you.
it if you're curious.
Yeah.
If you're curious, go ahead and still watch it. But nah. Fuck this movie. Fuck it. You can't start your movie with tank battle chase, tactical team shootout, neck breaking, body count, rocket blasting, and then going over the bridge, and then nothing at the end.
And then
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it. No. Fuck it. We tried to be nice. Damn it! Yeah. I knew it. The more we talk about it, the more it's like
I could feel it once we started getting into all of the things, and I kept trying to find good things to say about it, and it would just lead me to another annoying thing. And look, here we are. We were talking about Wet Hot, and we've gone back to how much we did not like.
Dude, I know. I was like happy, and now I'm like, hold on a second. He said, Angel is my favorite TV show. Period. All right.
Oh,
love me some Buffy, but Angel's superior show. You know, I've heard a lot of that. Like a lot of people love. Like overall as a show, they say Angel's way better than.
That's Buffy. Interesting.
Yeah.
I have not seen either of them, admittedly.
You know what? I have not either. I've like once in a while pop it on, like when the show was on, I would watch an episode here and there, but I didn't watch it religiously. And it wasn't because I like hated it. I had other things to watch, you know.
Sure.
I was a Xena warrior princess guy. That was my shit.
I mean, that's a fun show. I had a project that I was working on, and I needed something that was just like, I needed to be like sort of mythology and sword fighting, like sword and sandal sword fighting. And it was my wife. She was like, just watch Xena. And I put it on. I was like, this is the perfect thing to just like have on while I'm working on this project. And sure enough. Yeah.
Speaking of fun, goofy, random shenanigans, Xena had a lot of that, but Xena also had moments where there'd be an arrow shot at her. She catch the arrow and stab her opponent in the neck. And I'm like, I love this show now. I will be watching this a lot more than Hercules Legendary. Yeah. You know, Hercules is fun too, but Hercules is like back fist, someone goes flying 3 miles. Right. Xena's like, no, I'm gonna stab you in the neck.
Yeah.
I remember Callisto, bro. Callisto's like one of the best TV villains ever. Yeah. You know who Callisto is? That was like her rival. She had long blonde hair.
Oh, like I've heard the name and I vaguely know, but I haven't seen her yet.
Yeah. Oh, we got a Xena fan here. And there you go. Both were great. Both were fun. Back in the old days. Cheesy, but a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I'm sure Wet Hot American Renegades. I'm just kidding. Wet Hot American summer fans. I'm sure there's many of them now. I'm sure there's a new audience for this cult classic.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks again for the recommendation, man.
There's one more thing I got to ask you about it.
Oh, okay.
What was your reaction with the Michael Ian Black Bradley Cooper scene in the shack?
My reaction?
Yeah, because I remember watching that and like, again, just busting out laughing. We had to pause the movie because we were all dying laughing.
I just was like, okay, he's gay. That was it. That was my reaction. I had a feeling. Especially when every time they were trying to like oogle the girls and he wasn't reacting, I was well, he's probably gay, and he was.
Yeah, I just like how
that was like a serious scene there. Yeah. Like that was like there was no buffoonery. Like that was like a serious romantic scene. You know, I was like, all right.
So I just loved how over the top it was.
Yeah,
and just like, bam, here you go. This is what we're doing.
I forgot about this. I remember it, but I never watched it either. But yeah, there was like some spinoff with young Ryan Gosling playing Hercules. Yeah, I don't know how many episodes that was. Here's a question for you, Billy.
Yeah,
I'll give that one to you.
Oh, unknown horror recommendations. That's a good question. Okay, my usual answer for this, and I may have said it before on this show, but Bug if you haven't seen Bug,
dude,
William Friedkin, it's Michael Shannon, like
dude.
that one. I absolutely love that movie, and not a lot of people have seen it. And
dude,
it's wild.
Dude, I think we just recently seen that. I think it was this year, like earlier this year. We finally just watched it because I heard for years I heard good things about it.
Yeah,
and so we just seen it for the first time this year. Me and Lady Fat Blood, and we were like, dude. I'm gonna say that was. I mean, Michael Shannon was great in it because Michael Shannon is God. We've said that. We've said that several times, except for the Flash. He's not God in the Flash because he's not in the Flash because that's AI Michael Shannon. That's in the Flash.
Oh boy, I still haven't seen the Flash.
Have you seen those memes where he just shows like that meme that was popular memes going around with Michael Shannon showing up and going, yeah, well, that was fun. I thanks for the opportunity of being here. And he's got his like bag of money. he's like, that was, and that happened. And yeah. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, but I'm gonna say Ashley Judd. That might be her best acting performance, bro.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's a movie that like that's very much like my kind of horror too, like very rooted in
suspense
and like very rich characters and
what's
her backstory that is so heartbreaking.
What's real and what's not? Is it in their heads? Is it like, dude, it's so good.
And without spoiling it, I will say at one point you will be rooting for the abusive husband to win. And you don't expect, like, it's a weird thing to be like, oh my god, I hope he wins.
But it's like, well, when you see the movie, it makes sense because it's like they're so far gone,
They also did Friedkin and the writer Tracy Letts. So Bug is based on a play by Tracy Letts, and then they also did this movie called Killer Joe. And
that was great.
Also Tracy Letts and William Friedkin. And
that's another underrated movie, man.
Not a lot of people have seen it, but a lot of people credit that for the McConaissance. Matthew McConaughey, leading role in that. He's really good.
Yeah, Killer Joe's great too, guys. Check that out if you haven't seen it. That's another like underrated movie. Yeah. Michael enjoyed Michael Shannon as Zod. There you go. He enjoys it. He had fun watching bad CGI, not really their Zod. But watch our review of the Flash, T-Virus. I think you'll have fun hearing us rant about it. But we do talk about what's good in the movie though as well. Not that many people are doing that. A lot of people are mostly talking, "What's up, buddy?" They just kind of shit on the Flash. We talk about the things that were actually pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like that's an important thing to remember. Like stuff in those movies does tend to work. You got to focus on what's good and what's bad.
But these studios, man, they got to let these CGI artists finish their work. Yeah. And this keeps happening. No, we have a deadline. Go. Release it. Fuck it. Anybody will pay money to see it. It's DC. It's Marvel. Just whatever.
I know.
It's like some of the worst CGI ever. Like it's like, dude.
Well, I remember hearing about.
You gotta let these artists finish their job, man.
Well, they're unionizing now, so that's going to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the visual effects artists voted to unionize.
There you go. It's about time.
I think that's it's absolutely about time. Yeah. They. I know a bunch of people that work. Not to single out Marvel, but like they are kind of the ones that are the worst perpetrators, and they had too much stuff going on and whatever. But and it happened with
Ant-Man. It happened with a lot of people go back to the first Black Panther movie.
Oh, sure.
And a lot of people were saying those CGI the artists were like, they're like, no, we got to release it, and they're like, we're not really done. Especially, and you could tell because that fight with Black Panther at the end, like when he fought
Killmonger.
That some of that CGI was bad. Like bad. Even though I still enjoyed the movie for what it was, but I was just like, come on, man, let these guys are professionals. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're like $1 billion franchise. Give them time to finish the special effects. What's up, Todd? How you doing, man? Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, Ashley Judd was. I have not seen Kiss the Girls.
Ooh, Kiss the Girls is good.
Okay.
Solid 90s thriller right there.
Morgan Freeman. Okay. He's in that one, right?
Yeah.
Nice. With so much great technology, trash visuals. Yeah. Like, stop doing this. Yes. Is he
I love that.
the writers recently got a good 3-year deal, even though 70% of them are trash. Yeah. You're probably right. 30% of them deserve it, though. Yeah.
Let me confirm that for you. That is 100% correct.
There you go. From writer, filmmaker Billy, director. He knows. He can say that. Yeah. So the actors' strike is the only thing still going on.
Yeah, that should be done soon though, because they're negotiating now.
Okay.
And the writers, they took a big stance and said, there's still a lot of writers out there striking with the actors, like picketing with the actors and stuff. So the support is going to be there until it's done. And now that the Writers Guild deal is done, like they're gonna go quick. The SAG one will go quick. I mean, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put much past them at this point, but like I'm pretty sure it's going to be done.
Okay, good. Yeah, copy that. Those that deserve it definitely deserve it.
100%.
But what you don't deserve is to be disappointed by the lake. Yeah, you don't need to be. You don't deserve this. So I went from recommending it just to be curious to fuck this movie. Don't watch it.
Yeah, it was a slow decline, but we got there. We got to that. We got to that. Fuck this movie. But I think I've got a connection here. I think I've got a connection.
We got another connection between both films. Okay.
Okay. So they are both movies about. Okay. Hang with me on this one.
All right.
Both movies about a group of people.
Okay.
Who have a specific job that they do.
Yeah.
And they have to step outside of their duties.
Okay.
To accomplish their goal. I was trying to find something. Okay, it's a group of people working outside of their duties to accomplish their goals.
Okay.
Done.
There you go. Boom.
You have a Navy SEAL team who has to, they have to break their rules and, use their skills. And then you have the camp counselors who murder children and hump fridges.
And both films do have their moments of comedic shenanigans.
There you go. They both have a sex scene.
There you go. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. Oh my goodness. But yeah, you know what? Yeah. So fuck American Renegades Mission of Honor the Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And watch Strike Back instead. Watch Strike Back with these two actors only. Because I can't verify if the last season's good too. Watch Strike Back. That whole show is amazing. If you're diehard action fans of the 80s and 90s action, Strike Back is where it's at. And of course, I'm sure I'm probably the only one who has never seen Wet Hot American Summer. I'm sure more people has a bigger audience for it now. So make sure you guys check out Wet Hot American Summer if you like crazy, insane, and hilarious fit throwing comedy. Yeah.
Don't question it too much. Just let it happen to you.
Let it happen. See kids getting thrown out of the van, random. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Oh, never mind. I was going to I thought I found another connection there. There's a lot that happens under the water. There's a kid that drowns. There's a kid in the water, but I don't know. This was a tough one to find.
I forgot about the other kid. The other kid that got dragged was skiing.
Oh yeah,
another kid is more.
And then they lost him.
Yeah, they lost him. Oh, here we go. We got a fan of Blind Spot. There you go. So there you go. I heard about Blind Spot. Yeah, I heard Blind Spot was pretty good. But yeah, this was a blast. Always love talking movies with your brother. We can, technically, we could probably talk for like 8 hours.
Oh yeah, no, you have to cut me off at a certain point because I will do this until midnight.
Yin-Yangs are going about an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, but this is a blast. Hey, thank you all for watching and hanging out with us tonight. If you have seen Wet Hot American Summer, if you loved it, if you hated it, let us know in the comments below. Don't watch American Blue Balls, but if you have seen it, let us know what you thought about it. You guys are awesome. Don't forget, 80s summer camp theme equals instant classic. There you go.
100%. Yes.
There you go. Yes. Well said, Sean. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out with us today. And the next action film autopsy with Rick Myers and Frank Jang. The Master of Remaster, that will be this Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So join us because they're going to be talking about Expendables 4. They're going to be talking about The Creator. They're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. Are you going to see that, Billy, The Creator?
I probably will. I will admit I'm not much of a fan of that director, but I'll see.
But you like sci-fi, so you give it a shot.
I do like sci-fi. I think the trailer looks great. You know what I mean? Like his stuff looks really good.
Right.
But just not
really like him as a visual storyteller, not as a writer.
Yeah, the stories for me, like Godzilla, I was really let down. I am one of the few people that doesn't like Rogue One. I feel like I'm in the minority, but like same thing. I was like, it's not for me. It's just not my kind of thing.
So Billy has been banned from the you didn't like Rogue One. That's it. You'll never see him again. It was nice knowing you, Billy. Thanks for being here. No,
I will fade myself off into the distance.
Homer Simpson backing into the bushes. Yeah. No, it's all good, brother. It's all good. But you got to admit, at least this Rogue One is like fucking Empire Strikes Back compared to Rise of the fucking bullshit and Last of the bullshit.
Oh, 100%, yes.
Oh man, is there anyone nowadays defend those movies? At first there was defenders like, no man, like when it first came out, they were like, no man, The Last Jedi subverted your expectations. We got to do something different with Star Wars, right? Rise of Skywalker was fun, it was badass. Blah. Like there was defenders at first and detractors, but so much time has passed now. I'll be really surprised if there's people out there that will die on the hill for The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker now. Like, I'd be very surprised. I wouldn't be
enough. Honestly. Like, I saw it and I remember being like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But, you know, I'm not much of a, I don't really care too much about Star Wars, and like I like it and I appreciate the enormity of it.
Yeah.
But I remember going to see Last Jedi and I watched it and I was like, okay, cool. There was some cool visuals and like, you know, I was into it. And then there was some stuff that I was really confused about too. But then when everyone got so heated about it, I kind of was like, oh, I don't care this much. Like, I don't want to have a conversation. I just sort of forced myself not to have an opinion.
Yeah.
But I'd have to watch it again to see if I defend it anymore.
Yeah. It's funny because we got a fan here. Was not that bad doesn't mean it was great. That doesn't mean it's a great movie. But yeah, I had a buddy of mine who was really like defending it, like when it came out. Like he was telling me all that it got right, what was cool about it, and I was listening. I had a big smile on my face. I was listening to him, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I see why he liked it at the time." And what's so funny, I didn't agree with a lot of this stuff, but I'm letting him talk. I'm like, I'm gonna see what his perspective of it. I was like, all right, I see why he liked the movie. And then what's so funny is I think like 4 or 5 months later, he was like, this is fucking amazing. 4 or 5 months later, I talked to him about it. I just mentioned it. We were just talking about something. And he was like, oh man, Last Jedi, fuck that movie. Yeah. I was like, what? He's like, no, man, fuck that movie. That movie's garbage.
Did he come on your show and talk about it until he made himself angry?
No. But I remember when we saw The Last Jedi and we came home to review it, we couldn't review it. It sat with us for a while. Like we kind of just recommended people watch it and make their own decision. And we talked about what we liked and what we didn't like, but we were like sitting there. It was quiet on the way home. Like we were like, do we like this or not? It was weird. It was one of those. So we never like officially reviewed that movie.
That's interesting.
Here on the channel. Yeah, because it was just like we're thinking about it. What makes if Rise of Skywalker didn't come out, I could see or whatever the fuck the last movie's called. What is the last movie called?
I think you're right. Rise of Skywalker.
Whatever. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I think if that never came out, then I could see people really stand true and defend The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But the fact that came out, like any potential that The Force Awakens opened and had and showed, was all a complete waste. Just destroyed. Like there's everything's a waste. So it's kind of hard to really put The Last Jedi on a pedestal. I know some people probably do, and that's fine. To each his own, but it's just such a waste.
It's a lot of strange decisions, I feel like, is what I remember about it now.
It's funny with J.J. Abrams, it was announced recently. I was getting ready to look at me. I was getting ready to end it. Now we're on Star Wars.
Yeah.
But we can keep talking. It's our show. It's our channel. We can keep talking.
Yeah.
When Crawl was announced was recently, and it's going to be remade. And people were excited about that. But once it was mentioned that J.J. Abrams is doing it, people were like, oh, shit. It's kind of funny how he went from being, because there's some fans for Super 8 and stuff. It's kind of, and I like the first Star Trek reboot, whatever he did. I like that first movie. And Force Awakens, if you go back to our review, we defended the shit out of that movie, which is because we loved it. And we were one of the few, it's so embarrassing now. We were one of the few that were like, Rey is not a Mary Sue. Look, this is the reason why she's not a Mary Sue. We defended. And I think we gave a high rating for Force Awakens because, at the time, that's how we felt. We didn't know the shit was going to hit the fucking fan after that. We didn't know that, they were right.
Yeah.
By the time it got to the sequels, they were right. It was just like, God damn it, dude. Like we were like defenders of Rey. We loved Rey. She's not a Mary Sue. We were like J.J. Abrams. Yeah, man. Yeah. Brought back practical effects. Brought back the feels of A New Hope. We were like, yeah, and we had no idea that there was no plan at all. Well, that's why 2 and 3 were just fucking went off the rails because there was no plan. And I didn't know J.J. Abrams was a guy who. I forgot the term. I don't know if it's boom boxes. I forgot what it was called, but there was some term.
Oh, mystery box?
Mystery boxes, where he would just randomly create. There was no plans for Snoke in the first movie. He just like, I just made this character. You guys could do what you want with him. It's like, nah, dude, that's not how you plan a trilogy out.
No.
Like, what are you doing? And that's why there was no story written for the sequel. So you had a brand new director came in and they were like, yeah, do what you want. And he was like, all right, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what I want. And it's just totally happened, dude. Like, okay.
But that's what happened with Lost. Like, not to get into that whole conversation.
I never finished that show. I was a big fan at first, and then I stopped. And I don't remember why.
I think there was a point that everyone was watching Lost and realized, they just don't have a plan. They don't know what the end is. They don't know what is going to happen. They finally, years later after the show ended, admitted that they didn't have a plan. They just started throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah.
Like, black smoke monster. We'll figure that out later. Like,
introduce a really cool character of Echo and then kill him off.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that. All right.
Yeah.
What was the point of that? I may have gotten to maybe season 4.
Yeah.
And that's it. I know there's huge fans of Lost, and they even like the ending now.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, you got to have some at least bullet points for what you want in the next movie and in the third movie. At least have some kind of outline.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, writing process in general, like for me, is, you kind of lay out a story and you start in one place, but by the time I'm getting to the end of a story, I always go back and I say, this is where I'm headed. I always go back to the beginning and I say, wait, okay, let me set this up differently because this is where it's going. And the same thing has to be true for a trilogy, even if it's like not planned. Like, you go deeper, like the John Wick movies. They weren't planning sequels, but they knew like what the first one did. They just they dug a little deeper and they expanded it. Like, even if they didn't know where they were going, they had a direction and they had an idea.
At least an outline. Like, let's try this. Yeah. Oh, it's just it's sad and hilarious at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you go back to what Han Solo said in the first movie. Hey, kid, don't get cocky. And I think that's what or in the Family Guy. Hey, don't get penisy. I think that's what happened. Force Awakens was such a juggernaut of a hit.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, we could do no wrong. Fuck it. We don't have any plans. Who cares?
It's Star Wars.
Yeah. There was an old commercial that used to come on in the movie theaters. I don't remember. It was like a TV spot that would come on in where it was like, I think it was for Sprite. And I remember this because it always made me laugh. And it was like pitching to a team of filmmakers and producers like their ideas. And it was like, yeah, we're gonna have these like rapping aliens or something. It was some weird, bizarre like pitch. Like, we're gonna have this, and it's gonna have explosions, and we're gonna have this, and they're like, they were like, green light it, and they're like, wait, we don't have a story yet. Ah, fuck it, go ahead, green light it. They're like, we don't have a script.
Just go.
Yeah, and then the aliens are like rapping with the Sprite bottles, like they're like, it was really funny. It was something like that. I don't know if you guys remember that.
There's a solid.
It kind of makes you wonder if that's what happens.
I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with studio execs, but like,
yeah,
they're not story people from my experience.
Yeah,
there's a great Key and Peele sketch where they're pitching like everything that happens in Gremlins 2, and all of it. So the way they're pitching it is just like throwing the weirdest ideas out.
Yeah.
You gotta watch that sketch. It's really
I gotta watch that. I don't think I've seen that one. Key and Peele was funny.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, the good news is we have such a variety of films. You know, we can go back to 2001 and watch Wet Hot American Summer. And we have the option to skip 2017's American Renegades. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to watch crap.
Yeah, that's one thing. I know I keep shitting on streamers and stuff, but that's one thing that the streamers do that's very interesting is like you have new shows coming out that are fighting for views against stuff like Columbo. You remember during the pandemic when Columbo? Oh, that's my Columbo poster back there.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me blow that up there. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool
Columbo,
is that?
That's the episode with John Cassavetes right there.
How cool.
Yeah. But I started watching Columbo because a bunch of people started watching it, and then all of a sudden Columbo was like charting, you know, and they were like, Columbo's beating some of the new shows. Who knew that was going to happen?
Crazy. Yeah.
But that's one of the things I love about movies now. Like, everyone has access to old classic movies, and people are going back to watch old
for now.
For now, yeah. Oh my god.
Well, I'm getting concerned a little bit, but
yeah, I know they're trying to get rid of TCM. Like, they're just trying to do all this shit. One of the good things about the writers' strike, though, one of the things the writers won is residuals reporting. So they have to show what the streaming numbers are now, so we can see how things are actually doing.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Now that's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. But hey, there's nothing wrong having a backup plan with some good old fashioned physical media.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I will always say, always push the physical media.
Yeah. Well, this was
no one can tell you can't watch it.
Exactly. Okay. There you go. Well, this is a blast as always, Billy. Billy, don't go anywhere, but all you badasses, I'll see you Sunday at 6 p.m. Everybody's going to be talking Expendables 4, The Creator, and a whole lot more. So we'll see you then. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And keep watching movies, except for American Renegades. All right, take care, guys.
See ya.
Peace out.